Hello CreateStudio user. In this tutorial I will show you how to create an isometric mobile phone in CreateStudio free. This will be a longer tutorial because I also will show you how to create such an animation with this mobile phone like the following. If you only want to know how to create the mobile phone, go with the timestamps. Okay, let's begin. I go with a new project and go with high mode. Bring this down and go with the F key, and I begin with a rectangle for the background. Let's size it to the canvas and go with a duration of about 10 seconds. And with the color I go with a gradient. I have here one under my favorites. I like this one. And I go with the bottom left to the top right. So now I have my background. Let's lock the background. And now let's begin with the mobile phone. To get the isometric perspective, you have to go with a few steps that I will show you now. And I begin with a square. Go with the duration also up to 10 seconds and with the scale, and this is important, to 40%. And rename this to top. Now I have to have a group here. Let's group this and go with rename top again. And now I have to have the height of this let's go to the properties here. I have to go with the height to 86.6%. And you see I can't here disable here or get here the X and Y height here or scale here. So I have to go with a duplicate of the top track here and bring this to the side. And with this I go now to 86.6. So now I have the height that I want to have. I have to go here twice, 86.6. Okay, let's bring this down to the level of the first square. It's right here. This is very important that I have here the perfect right here of 86.6. And now I can go to this square and bring this now down to the desired height. So now I'm good to go. I check this again. Let's go here. You see 87, but I think it's 86.6. Okay, nothing changed, so that I'm now okay. And I can delete this help square. And let's bring this to the center. Okay. The next step is to skew this to the right to 30 degrees. We don't have the possibility to go here and in the properties and say skew it 30 degrees. You see there's no skew settings here. So I have to go with the help of another square. bring this here, the left bottom corner to the right bottom corner of the, let's go here and bring first the snap strength up. Let's go with something like 8. And let's snap it here so that we have here this point here. The left bottom point and the right bottom point are now the same. And now I go to the anchor point of the help square or helping square and go with the anchor point to this point. You see, now I have the anchor point here. And I can rotate this now to 30 degrees. And let's give this another color so that we have more contrast between these two. Let's go with a red color. Something like this. Okay. Now I have to skew this to this edge here. So I go and select my square, and now let's scroll in. I have to see this point of the bounding box and also the edge of the helping square. And to skew this square, I have to go with Shift, then with the mouse to this point, and now you see this double arrow. And then I can, okay, I forgot to go back to the edit mode. And now I can skew this to the helping square. Let's see if this is okay. Therefore, I go with the blue square up. And let's go in. You see, I have to go a little bit more to the right. So I go back to the top. Where is my point here? Let's bring this here. And edit mode, Shift, and go a little bit more in. Now I'm too far. Go back. This is a little tricky, but it don't needs to be 100%. 99.9% is also okay here. Okay, now I'm okay with it. And I can delete the red square. Bring this to the center. And rotate this 30 degrees. So now I have something like this. And this is now the isometric perspective of this square. When I now go and add the two guidelines, you see here the top is nice centered, the bottom, left and right are also nice centered. Okay, I don't need this. Now let's go into the top group where I have my square, and because later perhaps I want to go with a gradient, and with a gradient from the top to the bottom, I go and rotate this 90 degrees. If you don't want to go with a gradient later, you don't have to do this. You see, nothing has changed, but when I now want to go with a gradient, you see that the direction is from top to bottom or bottom to top and not from left to right. So it's easier to go then with a gradient in this direction. The next step is to go with a height of 70%. Because I have rotated it, I have to go with, not with the Y scale, I have to go with the X scale to 70. So I have now the height to 70. And I go with the boundaries now and edit them to the height. To the top and to the bottom. Now finish editing and let's go with another color. I make this, okay, I don't need, at this time I don't need the gradient, so I go with a flat color and go with a dark gray. 19 is okay. And I also want here to round the edges of the mobile phone a little bit. Let's go with something like this. Let's go with another background here. I go with white. And let's a little more say something like this here. I think it's okay. Let's go back to the main timeline. And now we got something like this. This is an isometric perspective here of the top. What I now need is the bottom, and therefore I duplicate the top layer, rename it to bottom. Go with capitals bottom. I also make this in the easy edit properties. Bottom, and also I go into the group and rename it to bottom. Okay, back to the main timeline. I go to the colors and go to a black 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 and bring this now 60 pixels down. Therefore I go with the shift key and the arrow down key and go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I have the bottom part. You see here, I have to fill the edges later. Before I go and make another duplicate of the bottom layer, select it and call this bottom shadow. Make this also here in the easy edit properties, shadow, and also in the group, rename shadow. And here in the group, I go 40 pixels to the right. And therefore I go with shift. Let's select again with shift and arrow key right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And with the opacity I go to 50. And now you see this nice shadow. Now how to fill the edges. You have two possibilities here, or three possibilities. You can go with little rectangles or triangles here and fill the edges, or you go and make with the pen tool, you make a path. You go with 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, and then back. This is not perfect at the end. You can get not the perfect edge here. You can go near perfect, but not perfect. I show you another method. You will get two freebies. In the first freebie, I go with the path method, and with the second one, I go with the method I show you now. This method I show you now takes a little more computer resources. The first one not so much, this more, because I have to duplicate the bottom layer here 29 times. So if you have a weak computer and want to go with the freebie, with the project files, I showed you before, then better go with the first version where I go with the pen tool. Okay. For this method, I go with the bottom layer, and as I said, I will duplicate it 29 times. So let's close this, go to the bottom layer, and I also will go here 2 pixels up with each duplicate. So I click then duplicate and then the arrow key 2 times without shift and make this 29 times now. Okay. With the right hand I'm on my mouse, with the left one on the arrow key, so I go duplicate 1, 2, duplicate, arrow up 1, 2. Duplicate 1, 2, duplicate 1, 2, duplicate 1, 2, and so on. So let's now see. I need another duplicate. 1, 2, duplicate 1, 2. And now I'm good to go. When I now go 2 up, I'm on this line here, 1, 2. So I go back to 2 and I'm now fine. When I now go to the edges, you see I have here nice clean edges. This I will not get this with 2 squares or 2 rectangles or with the pen tool. So this is the nicer method, and also it's much easier then to go with a gradient for this bottom or with this border here. Later I will show you this later. Okay, now let's group all the bottom layers. You see, I have to go with a lot of tracks, so I unlock the background track here and go with controller command A to select all, and then I will deselect the ones I don't want to group, and these are, and I go here with shift, are the rounded rectangle here. This is the background. Then the bottom shadow I don't want to group, and also I don't want to group the top layer with it. And now I can go with Control or Command G to group all the bottom tracks or layers. And let's call this bottom. And let's go here and rename this to BG for background. Okay. Go with the F key. Now I have my mobile phone. The only thing I miss now is the screen, and here I also want to go with a a rectangle for the camera. I think there is the camera on a iPhone or on a mobile phone, so I go also with this. Therefore, I go in the top group. And here I can go, I can make my changes in the right perspective. And all I do here will go here with this isometric perspective later. Okay. Let's go and duplicate the top layer and call this screen. And I go here with a scale, therefore I unlock here the scale and go here 2% down with the X and Y scale. So I go with 68 and 38. And then I go with a gradient. I have here one under my favorites. Let's go to gradient. And I go with this one here. If you want here the, let's say, border here larger, you can then, let's say I go here with 66 and with 36. Now you see I have these larger borders, but I think the other one, I think I like this more here with the 68 and 38. I go now and make the roundness of this. Let's go out and back and bring these points a little bit up, because I think this is nicer when I got with something like this. Okay, let's go back. And now you see here nice edges, clean edges, and a nice screen. Okay, let's go back and let's now make here the, let's call the camera shape. Therefore, I go with a square. And perhaps later I also want to go with a gradient, because when I go with a gradient for the border or for the top, I also have to go here with a little gradient. So I rotate this 90 degrees. And now I go with something here like, let's go with 4. And here Y, let's go with 20 and bring this up. Let's bring this here up and let's see, 22. No, this is too much. Let's leave it to 20. Now I want to round here the corners, and therefore I bring here this rounding point in. Not too much. I have to see here the upper points here, this one and this one, because I want to stretch them out. And I go then with the Shift key, go with this point and bring this here to the top left and this one to the top right. So I now have this kind of shape, and with the color I go with the, let's say, top border. And I also want to go a little bit down. Let's go 5 pixels down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at the result in the perspective view. You see now you have this. I like it. Okay. Now, if this is all what you need, you can now go and stop the tutorial, because now I will show you how to go with the app buttons here on the screen and with the animation. But if this here is all you need and you want to make the other things for yourself, you're good to go. Okay, I go now with the app buttons on the screen, and therefore I go with square. Also, I want to have here a gradient from top to bottom or bottom to top. So I go here with rotation 90 to make this easier. And I scale this down to 10. Go and round a little bit the edges. Something like this. Yes, this is okay. And let's go here with gradient. Let's go with the popular one and begin here with something like this. Or let's go with this here. And I have here the darker gradient color at the bottom and the lighter to the top, and that is what I want. Let's now go with the duration up, deselect, select again, and bring this now here. And let's go, let's say 30 pixel down. So I go with the shift key 1, 2, 3. I think this is okay. And let's call this, let's say, app 1. Make a duplicate, rename this app 2, and bring this to the left and 20 pixels more to the left. So shift and arrow key 1, 2. Go for another gradient. I go here with green, duplicate it, rename app 3, bring this to the right. You see it snaps here to the right position, and go here with something like red. This one or this one. I take this one, duplicate again, rename it app 4, and bring this here. Go shift 1, 2, 20 pixels down, and I go here with blue. This blue or this blue. If I want to change the direction, I can easily go into the properties and go with flip horizontal, because we have go with the 90 degree rotation. I have to go with horizontal, and then I have something like this here. And let's now duplicate it again for the last one. And this I call, let's say, my logo background, and I call this app, because I later have logo for the next part, so that I can have a difference to it, and bring this here to the right. Okay, let's go with a showcase of my brand. So I go with my logo. Therefore, I go in the global folder and let's scroll down and I take this one. I also need the color, background color of my brand, so I bring this also here in. Let's move it to the right and let's go to the logo, rename it. My logo, also with app. Let's close here and let's bring it to 10 seconds here and go with a scale. Let's try 5. It's too large, so I go to 4. I could also go to 4.5, but it's okay. And now let's go with my color, therefore my logo background, and let's go with color picker and go with my blue for the first gradient point and also for the second gradient point. So now I can go and delete this helping logo and go back and let's make here a gradient. With the first one I go a little down and with the second one I go a little up. So I have something like this, and I also want to make this a little different from the other one. So I go from this corner to this corner. So now I have here a nice bottom of my app. Okay, let's now make a group of this both and rename it to my logo plus background. Okay. And I want here an animation which should begin at, I have here the mobile phone come in 1 second. Then let's make 10 frames pause. And then let's begin with the animation of this button. I go with scale and easing in back 10 frames. So I'm here, 1.20, and make another animation here, out, back, properties, scale, another 10 frames. Bring this in, and here with the middle keyframe, I go with the scale down to 80. So now I have this animation. And I also want the sound effect. Therefore, I go to music, my favorites, shortest, and I want to go with this pop here. And bring this in. And go down with the volume to 40. So now I have this. Nice. Okay, let's go to the main timeline. Let's see what we have. We have now the mobile phone and the animated button here for the app. And What I also want then after it, let's go with a track below, and this is something that's in CreateStudio in the standard plan. I go to Studio and then with Gradient, and I want to have this after the animation of the button. I want to have this, so I bring this to the timeline. And let's go here with 5 frames after the bottom animation. So I go here to 2 seconds and 5 frames. And what I now have to do is to scale this down. And therefore, and this is also for images and videos, you bring in here with this aspect ratio of 9:16. You go here with the scaling to 38. Now it fits nicely here in because the before the square is also 38. The only thing you have to do now is, you see there's a little difference here between the screen height and the scene height. So I have to go a little bit with distortion and bring this down here. You don't will see this here on the image or on the scene, but it has to cover the screen entirely. And I also have to go with the corners here in to the corners of the screen. Better go a little bit over it so that the screen, that you can see the screen. Let's see again. Here is the screen, and then I go a little bit to cover the screen. So something like this. So now I have this here. Nice. Okay. Let's now go with my brand. I don't have a website, so I go with my slogan and with my logo. And also I want to change the colors a little bit. So I go to the settings and go here with my brand. Max Magic Media. And with the website that I don't have, I go to my slogan. We make it possible. And let's go with the size a little up. Let's go with something like 96. And a little down with the position. Let's say 320. Okay, let's change the logo, or replace the logo with this. And now I go to change the colors a little bit so that the logo is popping more out, and that also the text. And I also want to go here with blue colors, so I go first with the circles. I go in a blue range here. Let's go with, I think this is nice. Also with this color point. Let's go to something blue. Okay. Then I go with the next, with the waves. Also in the blue area. Like this. And with this also. And let's see, I want this a little darker. Let's go something like this. And with the first one, let's go and bring this down. Okay, and now the background. Same here. Blue. Blue. And I want to go here also down. Let's go. Bring this down. And with this I go, let's see. Yes. Something like this. Let's go with the circles. Make them a little darker. I think something like this is nice. Let's see here. I have also these circles. In this scene, these are this one. Let's see. Let's bring them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here, let's link them together. Let's see what color they have here. They have white, and this is okay. Okay. So now when I go back, I think I'm nice. This yellow color is also nice here with the blue. And what I have to do, a last step here, let's go with a track below. Let's bring the camera up. This is this. Let's call this, rename, camera shape. Let's bring this up. So now it is seen here. And now let's go back to the main timeline. And let's play this. I like it very much, the colors. I like them. Okay, let's go now and make an animation of the whole mobile phone. Therefore, I group this. Control G. And call this mobile phone master group. Group. Enter. And let's center it. And let's make two animations, in and out animation. And therefore I go to the beginning and animation, position, easing, out, back. I like this for this kind of animations with isometric things. I also want to make this a little larger. Let's go to and scale it up to 120. Let's go to the beginning and bring this here to the left corner. Something like this. Let's go with the F key. Let's play the in animation. Nice. And I also want an out animation for, let's go to 8 seconds. Let's go to, you see the text is playing until 5.5 seconds, so that everything could be read. And if this is a website, it's better to go with a longer time. I go with 8 here and go with another, in this case, in back easing and position animation 1 second. So I go to the 9-second mark and bring this to the top right. Okie dokie. Now let's play. In. The animation comes, logo, text, and then goes out. And let's also go with a little bit of music. Let's go to, I go here to my scenes and search for suspect. If you search here, then in your scenes you have to go to my scenes. And I go and bring this here down. Let's ungroup it. And let's play it. Okay, I go here a little in with the beginning. I'm here at 6. I think this is okay. Let's see if it's another one. Yes, it's nice. And out. Let's now go with a total duration of 10 seconds. You can take such an animation for intros of your videos on YouTube or something like this. It's very nice. Let's go here back to make the canvas a little bit larger. Sorry. Okay. And now the last step is to go to the settings here of the master group and then to clean this a little bit up. This is a little bit work. It will take 5 minutes, but I will show you. Let's go to the easy edit properties. And let's now go with first with the, let's say, app logo. Bring this up. Then we have the app logo background or logo app background. Let's call this logo app. Then the next is the normal logo from the CreateStudio scene. Let's call this logo. Then the brand text. And the website or slogan or channel text. Then the next thing, let's go with top. Okay, I got here screen. Let's go with top. The second time I make this tutorial, and the first time I also get here screen and not top. Nice. Let's go now with the camera shape. Let's go under the top layer. Let's now bring the apps up. App 1. App 2. App 3. App 4. Okay, then the bottom shadow we bring down. Background is here the background of the CreateStudio scene that I will bring down here. And let's now go, I think I'm ready to go and to link them, the things together. Let's go with, first go and enable here the borders of this circle because they have no fill. So I can go away with the fills here. And let's link them. 1, 2, 3. I also will link the circles. 1, 2, 3. The rounded rectangles. 1, 2. And then I go with all the bottom layers. This will take a minute to... Come on. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm now well organized here. Don't forget to save this a little earlier. Better. You see, I have here made a few one more. Let's go here with this. No, and let's call this free. So that I don't lose this one here. Let's save it because I like it. Okay. And let's play it again. Nice. And because we make all these duplicates, we can now easily go also for let's scroll in. Nice. For a gradient of this, how did it call this, of the sides of the mobile phone and of the top and of the camera shape here. And I will show you this. This is the last step I will show you anew. This is a very long tutorial, but I hope you are still on. Okay, let's go into the master group and let's begin with the top. And let's make this a gradient. And therefore I go to gradient and I go to my favorites. And one moment, where are the... Okay, here they are. Something like this. This looks nice. I want to go with this here. But I also like this one. Let's go and... Which I like more here. Which stands out. Okay, let's make something. here a little bit colorful. I like this. And for the camera shape, I go into the group, in the top group here, and the camera shape. And here I have to go with the colors now. I can't go now and say, okay, I go here to this and oh, I don't know. Let's go back to the main timeline. I don't know what kind of gradient I have chosen here. Is this one? Yes, this is the second last of this gradients. So let's go in again and top and here. And when I go here with the second last here, you see this will not work. So let's go back. And we have to go here with the color picker. And therefore I go with the first one. Is this the upper one? Yes, this is the upper one. So I go with this color. And with the bottom color here, I go with, let's say I have to go with something like this color. So when I now go here, you see that this is clean. There are no color differences here. So let's go back to the main timeline. Now I have this. And I go now to the bottom and make here the same. This one here. I have made a mistake. You see what I mean? I have also the shadow here in the, let's go here and unlink the shadow. Okay, now let's go to the bottom, top, bottom, and this one. And now let's go into the group, to bottom. Let's go back. I think it's also okay. Someone's not right here. Let's go back here. Shadow. Don't know why, but let's make this black again with 50 opacity. Let's go back in the group and white. Okay. Now I go with color correction effect and go here down with the brightness. Let's try 50. Minus 50. Oh, I like it. This looks weird, but I like it. Little bit too much, no. Okay, let's play. It's very colorful. Nice. Okay, if this is not your choice for a gradient, but you see with this method, with the 29 duplicates. You can make here nice gradients here on the edges here or the side of this mobile phone, and also at the bottom, at the top here. Okay, long tutorial. I hope this will help you. Thank you and goodbye.